I don't like Champions. I don't think it's some big secret, but I really don't like Champions. It always struck me as a self-aggrandizing book that had its head stuck up its own rear end. Not to mention that Mark, I'm single-handedly destroying Archie Comics, Wade, writes it, and in my opinion, he's only slightly more talented than that hack Brian Michael Bendis. Wade wrote Kingdom Come. He wrote Kingdom Come, one of the best books ever written. It's really sad because there seems to be this trend of comic writers to just give up on life and just start coasting by their reputation once they've had a successful run. I guess that's just the life cycle of comic pros, but Wade hasn't done anything creative or even mildly good in at least the last 10 years, which is better than Bendis, who hasn't done anything good in about 15 years. But back to Champions. The book is trash, the characters are trash, the stories are trash, just in case you were wondering. The Champions were formed because Kamala Khan, who I think is the most dishonest character of all time, had a change of heart when she was with the Avengers and decided to form a team with the younger members of the superhero community. I presume it's supposed to be Marvel's version of Teen Titans, but way more boring because at least the Teen Titans have personalities. They allowed Damian to be an asshole. I think the real watershed moment for me was at the end of, I think it was the first book, where the Champions had their first adventure and they're sitting around on Twitter and everybody's hashtagging the word woke. And the Champions have this look on their faces like, yeah, I really am woke. It was ridiculous, it was tacky, and I hated it. Not to mention, the characters themselves are not interesting in the least. Kamala Khan is there because I think they realized having a street-level hero in the Avengers kind of waters down the Avengers. I mean, even more watered down than they already are. And they needed somebody easy for the kids to cosplay as. So Kamala Khan was the obvious choice. Miles Morales is the biggest waste of time. And I barely even notice he's in the book. He blends into the backgrounds all the time in every panel. Miles is like a really boring friend who's like super nice. But when you hang out in groups, you remember that friend. You don't remember him being around. He's the type of kid who I would go out of my way to hang out with him if he invited me out. But I would never invite him to a party I was throwing. Amadeus Cho is proof that God doesn't exist. Because if he did, he wouldn't have allowed such a waste of a potentially good character. Cho-Hulk is horrible, and I feel like they literally go out of their way consistently to make him less interesting. Now, Weapon X, horrible. He's horrible in Weapon X. His own book, he's horrible. Now he's going to Planet Hulk? Who gives a shit? Who cares? They literally need the Planet Hulk gimmick to make him mildly interesting. Viv Vision is there to be the oh my god, look how random and funny I am because I lack basic social skills. And the gimmick gets old after the third page of the first issue. Cyclops is there because Marvel has this really strange fetish of continually ruining Scott Summers. Cyclops got really popular organically among the fans in the 80s, and Marvel has never forgiven the fans for liking Scott. Therefore, Marvel must always go out of their way to demasculate, defeat, and otherwise just embarrass the hell out of Cyclops. It's really bizarre and really creepy when you start noticing it. Honestly, I forget that Nova exists. I'm serious. I went through the whole book, and then I went back to start writing the script, and I got to, I think the 16th or 17th page, and I realized, oh wow, Nova is in this. So talk about a total just non-entity. The story itself is lame. The Solicit cites this as Secret Empire Aftermath. And yeah, it obviously has nothing to do with Secret Empire, so thanks for wasting my goddamn time on that. But it starts with the Champions singing karaoke because that's what the kids nowadays do. They sing Elvis songs while flinging fidget spinners at each other and dabbing on haters. Obviously. Cyclops is being a stoic stick in the mud because no one's allowed to have a personality. And we spend the first 3 pages with the kids talking about how lame Cyclops is. Did I mention that Cyclops isn't allowed to be cool anymore? My favorite scene actually occurs off page. So, on the 3rd page, Viv Vision mentions there's a citywide riot in Boulder, Colorado, and they all need to go. Remember, this is a citywide riot. The very next panel, unless I'm missing like 2 pages, the very next panel reads, Boulder, Colorado, 3 hours later. What the hell were you doing for 3 hours? What a useless team. Your response time for a riot is 3 hours. You are better off just calling the police and letting SWAT or the National Guard handle it. Not to mention, no one told the artist it was supposed to be a riot, because when they finally arrive in the city, there's no riot. Now, Wade handwaves this with dialogue revealing that they punched the villain out of the city, and that's why nobody was around. But I really feel like it was Elite Edition and was completely an oversight. I don't think they planned that out that way. Nothing in this book feels polished, and everything feels like an afterthought. You could switch up all the dialogue balloons with the other characters, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So Scott gets his behavior. This is back to the story now. Scott gets his behavior uninhibited because of comic book reasons. He got shot by something, and we have like literally 10 pages of Cyclops acting like he has ADD, and then going off on these self-pity rants, just in case you thought that, oh wow, he's kind of cool now. No. Just in case he's not. Then the champions go off to Atlanta, which I presume took 6 hours, and they defeat the big bad guy because Cyclops shoots him in the face, which is what he should have been doing to every enemy the entire time. And they go back to base. That's it. That's literally it. That's all they do. When they're back at the base, the effects on Cyclops wore off. That's it. And we have this. It's supposed to be a touching moment between Cyclops and everybody, where Cyclops is like, "Oh my God, you guys are my friends." Oh, and then everybody hugs, and no one cares about this book, and I don't mean the readers. No one at Marvel cares about this book. The art is horrendously bad. Everybody acts so bland. Nothing interesting happens. This book is literally an after. It was advertised as Secret Empire Aftermath and it had nothing to fucking do with Secret Empire. Nobody cares. Nobody. The book is literally nothing but an annoyance to everyone who works on it, and it's super obvious. It's really sad because I feel like most Marvel books are like this, afterthoughts. And I really hope no one thinks anything is changing when Legacy comes around next month, because you're going to be sadly mistaken. That's all for today. If you like, share, and subscribe, I don't care. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'll catch you later.